2, on.
Yo, y'all listening to Savage Media Radio, your number one source for underrated and non-viral topics, discussions, and news from the web and around the world. Think you can handle that much truth? Buckle up, bruh. It's about to get savage.
That's right, guys. We're back. Guess what? We're back for this is our 6th month. Whoop, whoop. We're back.
That's not true. Has it really been 6 months?
It has been 6 months. Stop playing. Come on, we're marking the X's on the calendar. Courtney, can you tell this man we've been marking the X's on the calendar? It's been 6 months.
We have been marking the X on the calendar, Doug. You should know this by now.
Wow, it has been a blur.
Taking tallies.
It has been a blur. It has been a blur. What have we learned about each other in 6 months?
Lots.
This was good.
Either a lot of things or absolutely nothing at all.
All right.
Are we going to disclose some of these things? Like, maybe we should just do
Troy,
one thing.
you go
open up the
first.
show.
Troy,
Oh,
you go first.
Do I have to say, like, the person's name, like, boom?
No.
Just overall? Oh. About us in
know.
general? Listen, this is what I'm going to say. I've learned in 6 months that if you really put your mind to something, you can do it. Like, all these topics that we've had to come up with and all these things that we've gained, all these things we had to maneuver in our brains to physically put out and have confidence that we were going to be able to do it and execute it. That was crazy. To this day, I'm still like, wow, like the fact that we can be professionals now in our brains. Like, hey, what are we doing? Boom, we get it done. This is so fucking dope. That's what I would say.
Good.
Yeah. What about you, Doug?
Well, let's see. I mean, I guess what I learned was I think that we've gotten a lot better at being able to not everybody talk at the same time and kind of follow each other's cues, on who's going to talk next or how to set that up. I think that's gotten a lot tighter since the beginning. I've learned all kinds of things about, what people do, what people smoke, what people drink, what people don't drink, Fiki and the barbecues. Like,
Getting invited to the barbecue.
I'm just getting an education here. It's like, who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? So it's cool. It's an honor and a pleasure and a lot of fun. And I very much look forward to our Wednesday calls. Also, to all the people that tune in and listen and say, hey, what's going on? And da-da-da-da-da-da. I love you guys. Thanks for checking out the podcast and thanks for tuning in with us and sticking with us.
Yes,
we hope you're with us for a long time. We do very much enjoy getting together and talking and kind of, chewing the fat, chewing the fat.
We do, guys. We really appreciate it. And we started out, remember, 6 months ago with one show. And now here today, 6 months later, we have 4 shows on 4 different days. So, I mean, what the hell are we doing? Okay? We're going real fast. People talk and we listen. I'm just saying, that's pretty fast. One show in 6 months to 4 shows in 4 different days. This is amazing. Like, we decided that people said things. We listened to our own selves. We listened to our Patreons and people who listened and cared. And guess what? Bam, we did it. So shout out to that. Miss Courtney.
Oh, me? Oh, it's my turn?
6 months. Oh, it's definitely your turn.
Oh, no. What have I learned? I've learned that I can hold my own in between a bunch of dudes. And so that's something I learned about myself.
You could always hold your own. Don't give me that. No
She's
way.
want to test it now.
I had to really test it.
No, let me get it on record. That's what she said. Let me get it on record.
Yes,
Here we go.
exactly.
Jersey. You're from Jersey. You could hold your own. I am not worried in a freaking second.
I thought that would be the case, but y'all niggas are intimidating, I must say.
No!
I'm joking. No, but I truly enjoy working with you guys. And I learned that strangers can become family in just a matter of time. So I love you guys, and I'm excited. And I'm excited for what the future has to hold. And thank you guys for being along on this journey for these past 6 months. And that is my heartfelt speech.
Shout out to the Church of Craigslist. Come on, Church of Craigslist, for bringing us together on one accord on this podcast.
Yeah.
Carlos, what's good?
Well, it's gotten easier for me not to mix up John and Doug's name because we no longer
I
have.
knew that was coming. Go ahead.
All those white guys look the same,
Yep.
That's because we never met y'all. We
Y'all
never
just
met
sound
each
the
other.
same. You just
Right.
sound the same. So I've definitely gotten way better at that. And I don't know. You guys have really grown with me. Today, my topic is going to be really emotional, and I've used this podcast as an outlet, as a bounce back for ideas, as literally as a therapist. Because a lot of the times I get on here and I just talk about things that are just really on my mind for that day on my segments. And I really love working with you guys all. And I can't wait to meet Coco when she comes out here in July. And I'm just super excited just to see where this goes in the future. So welcome to 6 months, guys.
Yeah.
There you go.
And we here, baby. We ain't going nowhere. So understand and know it. So if you're gonna come for us, baby, we're gonna let you talk. We're gonna let you have your space. We learned in 6 months that we're gonna be professional and don't go after people and use the platform. Well, first of all, we learned that if you fuck with us, we can use the platform.
Yes,
Shout out to Carlos.
exactly.
That's the first thing. Don't get it twisted. The second thing we're learning is that if you cross us, we want to be professional and allow you to do what you got to do here because that's the best way to do it. Right here, the way we give it to you, because we don't want you trying to, we want to give you a fair chance before you go say something bad about us, because we're not bad people. We were brought together for a reason, and that's why this podcast exists. And so let us do our thing and stop trying to hate and get in the way of that. Feel me? What's good? Stand out the way, and if you're gonna hate and get in the way, be ready to fight, because we're gonna play.
Letting everybody know too, Troy. Because you guys are very verbal and let us know what you do and don't like, we have actually taken that into consideration, and we are not going to play any tracks today. We're just going to fucking talk and talk and talk, and you're going to get tired of us, but you're going to be happy because we gave you what you wanted.
That's right. Listen, you guys talk, we listen. That's how it works. This is a partnership. This is a teamwork amongst all of us. Collaborative leadership. That's what my pastor says. That's what it is. We all leaders collaborating together. Feel me?
Exactly.
Yeah, 6 months. I mean, Brandon, and I know Brandon, he's not here right now. He has to take care of some stuff. But Brandon, shout out to you for, holding it down 6 months, making it happen and growing with us. We've watched you grow in 6 months. Hopefully in this next 6 months, we get you more vocal in your own way because we love it. We love when you talk. We love when you get involved, and we love having you. So if you can jump on, baby, we're here for you. Come on, give us a 6 months jump on. Come out of nowhere like Beyonce out the sky in the VMAs that time. Just jump on out the sky. Jump on in here for a second.
I know he's
hey, y'all. Give us a little hey, y'all. Oh, guys, also, we got to give a little shout out to our missing friend, Mr. John Mercer. Unfortunately, we never heard back. We never heard back from him.
John straight ghosted us, but it's okay. It's all right.
We're gonna find out because he live in LA. It ain't hard to find.
He has trouble with commitment, so
right.
we learned that over the years.
We learned that. We learned that.
We're gonna have to do a 66 2020 special with him and sit down when we find him. Right. It's like, what really happened?
In search of. Well, I think he John's like one of those guys that fell behind the digital line, and we lost him somewhere in the zeros and ones, and we love him.
No Facebook. You gotta have a Facebook.
We send out good vibes. Hey, I think we should dedicate this episode to the ghost of John Mercer.
There we go.
Booyah.
Very sentimental.
And
I say, fuck that shit, because we need to dedicate this episode to our listeners who have gotten us here for 6 months. That's who we should be dedicating this episode to. That is just my 2 cents.
I'm here with Coco.
We're talking to Crystal. Is Crystal here today? Where's Crystal?
Yes, we need Crystal. Coworker. We need to hear from you guys.
Let me text Crystal.
Yeah, and now that we're
Larry,
on
everybody.
iTunes, now that we're on iTunes, we can hear from you guys a lot better, and I can actually see it because I'll be looking, and nobody has left any comments. So y'all better leave some comments on iTunes and leave 5 stars.
In fact, isn't there some kind of a deal going on right now, Courtney, where it's like if the best the best listener gets like a $50 gift card to Wanker World.
So basically, it's 2 people who rate us 5 stars. We're going to pick from the pool of people who have rated us. So it'll be chosen at a random time. So you got to be in it to win it. You need to comment and leave us some 5 stars, nothing less. We're not accepting anything less.
Because we've been working hard, y'all.
At this point, if you just comment the one, you gonna win. Like
exactly.
No one has commented. So
that's right. You could be.
Your odds are very well right now.
Exactly.
Odds are in your favor.
Carlos, I can't believe Fiki hasn't stolen your phone and tried to cue in.
Uncle, I told you he hasn't been here in 2 weeks. He has a girlfriend who works at Arby's.
And that phone time. That's why.
I did his laundry today. Tell me why this man. First of all,
did you find condoms?
Yes, I should not be taking magnums out of my 53-year-old uncle.
Yes!
Oh, my brain. Why you do that?
Doug was his biggest fan just now. He was like, yes.
Yes, Fiki's throwing down for the 50 and over crowd.
Oh,
Go!
how uncomfortable
I
am I
mean,
with this conversation?
he's been in prison for 20 years, so I'm sure he has like a lot of backed up
Ooh,
frustrations to pound out.
a lot
There
of
you
backs
go.
up.
There
A
you
lot of
go.
backed up. Wow.
Well played, Carlos. Well played.
Uncle Fiki not playing no games. Listen, we got a shout out. I'm shouting out to him, bro. He's a real OG for real. He
Come
bounced
on.
back real fast.
He's
He didn't
coming
even take
out
no
of the
time.
3-1-3 right there. He's
He didn't
knocking
even
him
take
down with
no. He didn't even have no training wheels. He just said, "Bye, Felicia. I'm out, baby. Give me my bike. Excuse me. Fill out my application and make sure you give him a good reference because I'm out of here." He ain't playing no
Right.
games. Skates on. Shout out to Uncle Fiki. Are we ready to keep it moving?
Real
Keep
quick,
it
before we
moving.
keep it moving,
Yeah.
we have a comment early in the game. Look at us from
Who
Daquan
is it?
Carter.
Oh, okay. I was
And
about to
he
text him.
said,
Daquan.
he said, congrats, and my caller 99. And then he goes, seriously, congrats, Savage family. Thank you so much, Daquan. We always appreciate you. You have definitely helped us get to this point, so we appreciate you. We love you, and you'll always be a part of our family. So thank you, and now we can move on.
All right, shout out
Good,
to
good.
yo. Daquan's my real cousin in real life. Shout out to Daquan. I love you. All right, guys. Now we're gonna move things right along. Fuck shit with Troy and Coco.
So what you about to talk about? Because I ain't playing no
Oh, just kidding. Huh? I was just trying to make fake music. I'm so
No,
used to the music you
it's
took
not
it out of
good
my
enough.
life. It's okay though. We're gonna make it happen. What's up, y'all? We here. And it's our 6-month motherfucking anniversary, y'all. Dang, man, I want to cry right now. This is real life.
I don't want to
Ooh,
cry.
for real.
I'm ready
I
to
do
make
cry.
moves, son. I don't have time to cry. I'm ready to
No,
make
no. I
boss
said I want
bitch
to cry. I didn't say I
decisions.
was. I said I wanted to cry. I didn't say I was gonna cry. Listen, ain't nobody got time to cry. We got too many moves to make. You already see how fast we moving. We about to be in the history books. If we did this so far in 6 months, imagine what we could do in 1 year. Come on. 6 more months, guys. Don't let your brain stop working. Y'all, if y'all out there listening in podcast world land, what is it? How you say it, Doug? Podcast
Yeah,
land?
everybody in podcast land.
There you go.
Podcast land out there listening. Make sure we listen to you guys and we make this about you, not just about us. This is a team effort. So yes. So about today, what we talking about? You know, I always got some shit. So first of all, Courtney, you have something? It's 6 months, and I always start with me, but I'm just curious as to is this something that you want to fuck shit about today? Because
Oh,
it
no,
always starts
now you ask me. Now you ask me. Now I gotta see. Now I'm on the spot. Now I gotta pull something out of my ass. Let me
you don't
think
got
about
no-
it for
come-
like a
come on.
hot
You got-
second.
You got 10 fingers. Come on, I know you got one here and one of them nails. Come on.
Let me think about. Oh yes, I do.
All right.
I do have something to talk about. I'm going to talk about something I've been frustrated about and that you guys are probably not going to fucking understand because it's just the industry I work in, but it's okay. I'm going to let it out.
We here
I'm
for
going
you.
to
Come
let
on,
out
let
my
it out.
frustrations. Anyway, so I had a vendor because everybody, you guys know, I do events. I plan public events, conventions, festivals, yada, yada, yada. So I've been kind of changing my strategy to kind of start doing more festivals. So like festivals in parks or music festivals or food truck festivals, yada, yada, yada. Because the convention scene is just not working out very well. And I will tell you why. One of my vendors today actually explained it perfectly. Now, I don't know if you guys go to comic conventions, but it's a big industry. I'm not going to say it's a big booming industry because you really got to be in the right place at the right time for it to boom for you. So we've been working on a couple of comic conventions, and they've been growing, but not as much as other events I've had in the past. One of my vendors said he's not going to be able to do my show this year because he had gone to another show I'm not going to mention the name of because they're relatively close to where my show is. And they had about 200 people in attendance over a span of 3 fucking days. Like, do you know how fucking do you know how awful that is? Like
Yeah.
imagine going somewhere public and only seeing like a hot 75 people run through the place each day for 3 days. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know if anyone realizes how fucking terrible that is, but that's fucking terrible. That's not what's irritating me. And I know I'm not giving anybody a chance to talk, but I want to tell you what's irritating me. Okay, ready?
Right.
So, he said he can't do my event because of the fact that he lost so much money at that other show and his morale is down. And he said these words. He says, "It seems like people are conventioned out." And that's pretty much true. It's because the industry is so saturated with all these fucking high-profile conventions that cost $2,000 for a fucking table. Troy, would you ever pay $2,000 for a table to promote your band? Would that ever be anything like remotely possible or even remotely like fucking logical
not.
in your brain.
First of all, that's not even a dream. That's not even a sperm in my nutsack. There's no way. Absolutely
Exactly.
not.
So
No.
the fact that these expensive ass like price gouging fucking conventions charge so much, it hurts us little guys, because the people who really deserve to be at our shows and the people that we deserve to be at our shows cannot afford us anymore, even though our tables are fucking $85 for 3 days. Really? Really now? This is retarded. I don't understand, and I'm over it. That's all I want to say. I'm done.
All right.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. But I do want to ask a question though.
Yeah.
Remember way back a couple of months ago when I asked you guys how much would you pay for a concert? And if it was like, because I think we were talking about Gal Gadot or something like that, and how she was charging $375 to get an autograph
For a
and
photo.
a picture.
Right.
Yeah, for a photo. Now, would it make more sense if you were a big fan of something, say if there was a fucking, I don't know, Hungarian death metal concert or something, I don't fucking know, or no, Hungarian death metal convention, right, with all the top Hungarian death metal celebrities, right, and I don't fucking know, I don't even know if that's a thing, but anyway, so what if that was just like your everything, but they had a multiple of those shows all year long? Would you rather go to those shows if it costs like maybe $50, right? Go to each of those shows, or would you rather go to a giant show that costs like maybe $150 for a ticket, but you can only afford to go to that one show? Does it matter? Like what would make that one show worth it? I need to know, like, from consumers. What would make a show worth skipping out on other shows? Like, would it be the content? Would it be the artists that they have there? Or would it just be your loyalty to that fucking concert of Hungarian death metal festival shit? What would make it that worth it for you is my question.
Well, I mean, where we are right now in the space of live music, and we'll use that as the example, is we're really talking about the experience, and so that's really what it boils down to. So what would be my experience? And I'm going to tell you this: I've been to many shows, many big concerts, many festivals. Sometimes I'm the guy on stage. Sometimes I'm the guy backstage. Sometimes I'm the guy in the crowd. Sometimes I'm the guy that never made it into the building. You get stuck outside.
Yep.
For me, I would say that it really boils down to the experience and what I would get. For $125, I could see all my favorite bands in one shot. I could see that. But for me personally, that's kind of lame, because I don't like to be at a spot where I'm getting cooked by the sun and there's 350,000 people, blah, 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 blah.
Come on, tell the truth. Go ahead.
Right?
I'm telling the truth, but I'm going to double down and do this. I would pay $1,000 for a living room show.
I get you.
So my experience is very different. Like, I don't need to get drunk. I don't care about this. Blah, blah, blah. So for me, as I could see the value in having more of an intimate experience as opposed to this big blown out thing. Now, I am older in comparison to, let's say, like Brandon, where he's 23 and he's like, he wants to go to an EDM thing and he doesn't want an intimate thing. He wants, 15, he wants 2,000 people, 5,000 people, whatever. And everybody's flipping out and having fun, Burning Man style.
See,
Doug, so yeah,
I'm glad that you have that experience, because that actually brought me to the point I want. That the whole point of this was me saying that it sucks when all these companies, they charge all this amount of money, even with concerts nowadays. They charge all these amounts of money for you to see these productions or go to these conventions, but the quality is terrible now. The quality is limited. Like, for conventions, like the guests are terrible, the panels are boring, the vendors are so, and even for concerts, like I went to a concert a couple weeks ago, right? And don't ask me who it was. I went with a friend, so don't even worry about it, because I don't fucking know. But like, apparently it was a really big person that I had never heard of, but it just was the most boring concert ever. It cost $79 a pop for tickets. And I'm like, why am I paying this much? I could have literally gone out to my favorite restaurant and got my favorite drinks and had great conversation for this, but it's just the quality is missing. So I'm glad that you said that, though, because that makes me feel better, because at least I know my shit is popping when it comes to quality, and my shit is popping when it comes to content. So listen, guys, you can make it work. Come to my shows, you will make money, you will have fun, and, life will go on. What were you going to say, Doug?
Well, I was going to say a couple of things, but, I'm going to steer it in a different direction. And one is that for you, if you do great stuff and you put on the best event for the best value for vendors to be able to show what they have, and $85 to me, the rate of return is really like, that's pretty badass. That's like, come on, that's ridiculous. So, I think that's what you're doing is great, and you just kind of have to stick to your vision. And then another part of my brain popped up and said this. One, the space where you are, what you do and how you throw energy into an event. Okay, it doesn't really where you are right now is at the current time you're in this comic book convention space, right? But that is the tip of the iceberg, because you've aggregated this skill set that can be applied to a fucking boatload of things.
See, Doug, I'm going to give you right now.
And I'm going to give you an example. Ready? I'm sorry, guys in podcast land. I love you. I gotta tell Courtney about something that's really important, and it might inspire you, Courtney, to think about things in a different way. One is what space can you own? Okay, what space can you own? That's the big question. I know you're going to crush it. I know you realize what the value is for the small business owner, blah, blah, blah. That's a bump. That's a push. But here's an idea. I met a guy about a year ago, and I was getting a coffee, and I run into this guy, and he had his bags with him. Where are you off to? And he's like, I'm getting ready to go down to LAX. I'm like, what do you do? And I'm a talkative guy, and this is what this guy does. Here's his business model. What he does is, and I'm bending your ear now. What he does is he creates conventions, meeting spaces for vendors that have event spaces and buyers. So if you're, let's say, I don't know, I'll use a dumb example. You're a restaurant, or you're the Radisson Hotel, or whatever the fuck it is that you are, right? And you have your portfolio of how your event space is, okay? And then he reaches out to all of the buyers, that corporate buyers that are going to be looking on where they're going to put, whether it's their next widget convention, blah, blah, and he puts the two parties together. So now, if I'm a guy I'm a guy and I need to put on my Christmas party for next year, whatever, and we're a year out or whatever it is, for $1,000, I can go into this hotel and I can see all the spaces in all of LA in one shot. That's value right there. And so what I'm saying to you is, you're going to have to find that space that you own, because you already have the skill. That's the difference. That's it.
And thank you so much for that, Doug. I really do appreciate that, because a lot of people have been saying, how about you delve into some other aspect of it? So, and I'm thinking about it because I'm trying to change my formula up. I want to be ever changing. I want to be successful. I want to be a millionaire. So I really have to delve into what other, space of this I can kind of delve my hands into. So that is actually a very good idea. That definitely has my creative juices flowing.
Another nerdy idea is you could own the podcast space. That's the whole thing. And you could put on podcast conventions just like Earwolf does, blah, 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 blah.
Look at you.
That's your, I do have a pretty good bead on marketing, and it changes all the time. It's every 6 months, there's a whole new strategy or way that you're going about it.
And you have to be ever changing. So that's what I'm attempting to do.
What I do know in my bones is you're a problem solver. That's what you do. Here's the problem. Here's the solution. Here's the problem. Here's the solution. And that skill set can be bolted onto any kind of different event. You just have to figure out which is the events that are going to, for the amount of energy. Seems to me like you're an all-in person. Yep. So if you're going to throw all your energy into something, what's your magic number? Is it, I need to make 40 grand a year? I need to make 400 grand a year? I don't know.
And figure out what's going to get me there.
That's it. And also, that a lot of times when you're doing a new event, the first year you're gonna take gas. You're gonna get hammered. The second year, and there are certain things that we've talked about this in the concert world. Like some friends of mine are the guys that do Coachella, and they got their asses kicked the first few times. I mean, bad.
Those losses were like
gigantic.
Monstrous. I was like, if I ever did that, you could write me off because I am done.
Well, but now, and I'm not a gambler. Some people say when that's the case, that's when you double down. I don't know. I know, like one of my buddies puts on this with one of the other dudes, puts on this huge event right now. I think it's in its second year, called Arroyo Seco, and it's basically they take over the Rose Bowl and they put on a weekend event. But it's like they bring out Tom Petty. I mean, they bring out incredibly expensive acts. And the first year they took a hit. This year, let's see how they do. By the third year, they should be up and running. And now, just so just to give you the mindset, they work on one event all year.
That's what everyone says I should do.
All year. One event all year. And that's a whole nother, you have to look at it like, what works for you, how much energy you have. Are you going to do something that's like, twice a year? Can you afford to do that? That's a lot of time to wait before the payoff.
Yeah.
Or you got to have your side hustle until it pays off. So it's
that's actually all
strat.
What were you going to say?
No, I'm saying all of it's just, you have to decide for you where, you have to try different things, and you have to pivot to the right, pivot to the left, whatever it is, just pivot, keep going.
That's the phase I'm in right now, and Troy knows a lot about my phases. I have a lot of projects in the works so that I can try to make myself rich and make the people around me prosper and make sure, take care of my people. So and he knows all about this.
And then what's the essence of that? Is it like to try to have people have a good experience, or is it really to be wealthy?
It's all about the experience.
My thing is the experience. And I feel like I might delve into that side of it way too much, though, because at the end of the day, I don't want to put my all in and not get anything in return. But I think my main objective is to provide an amazing experience for people that they talk about and they plan for. And that's what keeps me going. That's what gives me my drive. So I don't know. I got some thinking to do, and I'm so sorry, Troy. I took over your half of the segment, so you can start venting and go. Thank you again, Doug. I love you. You're the best. My brain is all kinds of circulating right now, so I appreciate that encouragement.
That was definitely teamwork. I was sitting here listening, so hopefully that was a lot of great things. Something.
Troy, I need my venting sometimes.
Right. That's why I have to, give you a chance to, I feel like, a lot of the times, I'm always a gentleman, like, oh, ladies first, and then I start talking like, oh wait, it's restarted. Is it live? Is it recording? Let's go. So I forget that, it's a team effort, and I was like, no, let me let Coco go first, represent the 6 months, which was great. That was a lot to take in, like I was trying to say. And it was dope. So hopefully people were listening and someone else got something else from that they can take with them, because it was dope.
People get frustrated in their career. Don't give up. Redirect your focus and be ever changing, and you'll succeed. So that's what I'm going to leave people with my venting. So your turn, Troy.
Damn, that's what's up. I like that. I like that. That was dope. Shout out to you, Coco.
I tried.
You got your venting out, and you got an answer. Usually we don't get an answer. We just vent. Be like, you got an answer. So that's what's up.
Look at mine.
Amen. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reclaim a couple minutes in this charm. What I'm gonna be like Carlos.
Reclaim. And, I'm gonna reclaim my time.
Just a little bit. Excuse me. Not the whole time. Only all of it. Because Coco, that was dope. I'm sick and tired of hearing people complain about the same damn problems with no set plan or goal to fix it.
Oh, way
That
to
has
say
been
that after
something.
I just vented my old bullshit.
No, but you have a plan. No. There's a difference, Coco, because you have plans in place. You already got 5
True.
different things. You got your eggs in a couple baskets to figure out the one. I'm talking about those people that come and in your face all the time complaining about the same thing all the time, but they ain't never say how they gonna fix it. They ain't never said when they gonna fix it. They ain't even talked about fixing it. Like, come on. First of all, I'm not against complaining from nobody, because at the end of the day, we all go through things. We all work hard. Complain. Go on, complain. Let me make you a cocktail. Let's go and sit back, smoke one, let's chill. And then after we complain, I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. So what we gonna do to fix it? Because now that we know what the problem is, now we're gonna solve this problem. But that's the issue. People don't ever want to solve that problem. So I'm sick of it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the same problem after the second time. Only 2 times you can get from me. First time, you wasn't ready. I get it. Second time, okay, cool. Now you're ready now, because you didn't said it to me twice. That means it's something that's on your mind that's important. Let's talk about it right now and get it over and done. But it's just that people, don't do that. So I'm sick of it. As we emerge and, with technology and what we got going on, people being so into social media and not being social, this is the causing those problems. This is not being social. It's causing
I
these
totally
kind of
understand
problems.
what you mean, though. People who complain and complain and complain and don't have a plan of action, and they sit there and wonder why their shit is miserable, why their shit's not working out for them, and why they're still sad. I
Wait a
completely
minute.
understand.
Wait a minute. I think we're going to hit the button on the laws of positive attraction. Okay. And what happens is there are some people that just suck the energy out of the room,
Yeah.
and you have to watch out.
So energy sucking self
See,
out of
I have to chime in. I'm that person that always has a problem, and it's a different problem. And I think it's because we're, as a society, we're so used to being Instagram, like, are living our life and trying to show this life. And people like me who are real will just be like, hey, well, what's up? How? And I really want to hear, when I ask you, how are you doing and what's going on in your life? I want you to just spell like, oh, I'm going through this.
Sucks.
And
It's a piece of shit right now.
And then when you ask me and you're expecting like, oh, I'm good. And I'm like, oh, girl, last week my dog had, and then I really delve into it. Now, why am I sucking the energy out of the room? I'm not being a Debbie Downer. You asked me how I was
but you're
doing.
productive with it, because there's people that sit there and complain about their shit and just do nothing but tell you their problems and dump their shit on you and don't even bother asking how you're doing. I know a couple of those people. Will not be mentioned.
But then that's your fault for having that person in your life. Like, if you really know that person, and have you talked to them about that? Have you said, Troy? Have you said, hey, I love you, bruh, sis, cuz, but
First of all, Carlos, who you talking to,
you
Carlos?
blame me.
Who you talking to? My name's Troy, isn't it? You already know I ain't playing that. You already know. Excuse me. Okay, no. Sis. Excuse me. Okay, we done talked about this twice already. No, you know me. I don't play that. I'm just, I'm just tired of, like, it's still happening with other people, and I'm like, listen, I'm not about to sit here and be Zion to fix my life unless you gonna pay me.
So the thing is, that just goes back to old sayings: fool me once, shame on you; fool me twice, shame on me. And then after 3 times, like, it shouldn't even be a non-issue.
Right.
People are people off. Like,
Troy, can I ask a question? And then Carlos. And then, well, actually, let me say something to Carlos first, and then we'll circle to Troy. Carlos, you're a self-starter and you get shit done. Even though you might complain about stuff, in your gears, who you are is a survivor. So you fall into a whole different box. You might bitch about something, but you get shit done, and that's a great quality. And just you keep doing what you're doing, and there it is. Troy, I guess for you, for somebody that says this stuff to you, is it somebody that's like you love? Is it somebody that's kind of in your inner circle, or it's somebody that's way out on the outer orbits of your circle?
Well, I'm gonna start backwards. If they're in the outer orbits of my circle, I really don't care. I'm not gonna waste my time. I just like some people just see me come in and out of places like work or wherever. Like, dang, I'll never see you. That must mean we ain't got a friendship that close enough for you to, because I just be on the go. Like, I ain't got time. But it's been mostly like people that I work with, because you have to be around the motherfuckers all the time. So, it's that one thing. And, working in the service industry, people come and go. So it's like a revolving door. So, that's just the always kind of thing. And then it is on the inner side of people I know, too, that I love, too. But it's just like after a certain point, I just let it go. Like, my thing is, I'm not going to be more passionate about what you want to do in your life than you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I'm just not going to waste my energy to be passionate about it if you're not.
Yeah.
I can't be more passionate for you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then I would say you'll have to come up with I guess a soft way to kind of like scooch them along down the road, how to kick the can down the road without hurting anybody's feelings. Because you could go a couple different ways. They could say, Troy, I got this, and you say, you know what? I have a solution. Get on YouTube. You'll find all your answers. There you go. Right? And they might think like, boy, you're an asshole or whatever. But you could flip it that way. Or if it's somebody you love, you go, you know what? Hey, let's try to figure out a plan or whatever it is. So I would figure how, you want to know
how I do it, Doug? Let me tell you how I do it.
I bet, Troy, you have 3 or more reactions for this, and I'd like to hear them.
No, it's one way to kill it all. I'm gonna tell you the one way to kill it all. Because for me, I'm just sick of it, but I always know how to kill it. Because people who fail to realize the only thing stopping them is themselves. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. So if you're ready to be done with whatever the situation is that you're complaining about, this is how we start. Knowing that the only person stopping you is you. So when we can figure that out, and we can take ownership for the things that we have control over for ourselves and be able to say, look, I know what I want for myself and what I'm going to do. I know what my end goal is and what I want. So I know that that's my focus right there. And anything else outside of that that's in my way, well, I got to get out of my way and get out of my life possibly and get myself away from it. But it starts with you. So that way the complaining stops completely. Because now you're in your head thinking like, wow, you know what? He's kind of right. I haven't been being on time, or I haven't been blah, 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 blah. I haven't really communicated. Then you realize maybe the issue is me. So I ain't got time to be trying to figure out what the issue is and hearing the issue. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
About work.
It started with work. It's mostly about work. Yeah.
I could tell.
Crystal's on. Crystal
yes.
listening.
We got people in chat.
Oh, yes. People in chat.
Brandon, our lovely Brandon Jenkins, he goes, don't be talking shit. I'm still listening while at work. Happy anniversary, you guys.
Yeah. Hi, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
Yeah. We're not talking no shit.
Hey, boo-boo. Brandon.
And then we also have Crystal, who says, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Thank you, everybody. We really, truly appreciate it. Please keep hitting us up in chat. This is like the coolest show ever because we're just going to do nonstop talking. We're going to be in your ear for a whole nother 45 minutes. So please tune in and comment. So thank you, Crystal. And then we have Larry, who said...
Come on, I'll text Larry. Stop playing. Come on, Larry.
Yep. We have Larry, who said, who questioned you when you said, always a gentleman. And then... he also goes, when you confront, I think this is geared towards you, Troy. He goes, when you confront them, they will say you are no better, or who are you to talk? So that's basically what he's responding to when you tell them about themselves, pretty much. So that's his
shout out to you, Larry. Thank you for hitting us up. I text Larry. I was like, Larry, what's up? It's our 6th month. You got to say something.
There you go. I think it comes down to, Troy, it comes down to kind of putting people in different, I guess, whether you want to call it boxes or tiers
brackets or
whatever. Yeah. And the ones that you love, those are the ones that get your time. And the ones that are further out in the orbit, that doesn't mean that you want any ill will of them on them at all. Oh, never. That's bad. That's bad mojo out there.
Really?
But at the same time, you also have to respect that you're moving at a particularly quick pace, and it's very hard for you to look in your rearview mirror to try to help people. And so it's funny because you have a big heart and you want to help people, but at the same time, you're like, I can help you once, I can help you twice, but if you're not going to help yourself too, what can I do? And so there's not much you can do. So I would say for you, the people, if I called you and I said, Troy, I have a huge problem, we need to talk, I'm pretty confident that you and I could have a problem and we'd resolve the problem and then we'd come up with a solution, blah, 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 blah. And then as that kind of like, that's the dropping the rock in the pond, in the pool of water. And the further out that goes, you're only human, and you're only going to be able to give away so much time and give away so much of your heart, and that's it. And there are some people that you're just going to have to give them a hug and be like, I can't help. I can't help.
They know me for giving hugs, so you're already on the right path with that one. I'll definitely give you a hug real fast. I like to give people hugs. It's just like, so it's kind of crazy that you don't really realize that's how small that is, but it makes the big difference because some people ain't had a hug in months or days or who knows. So, I give hugs. So I appreciate that. Like, you're always dropping them bombs. But I like the one about I'm moving so fast that, I ain't got time to be looking back in the rearview mirror. Like, that's kind of crazy because, since the beginning of this year, like I said, this is the year of saying and doing, challenging everybody to say and do. Like, this year is taking off, I've even started riding the bike, y'all. And I got a bike and ain't right. Only yet, Doug. Come on.
Right. There you go. It's funny because this is what's similar about all of us on this chat, Brandon too, is everybody's looking forward and more focused on what's happening forward than backwards.
Makes sense.
That's very interesting. Courtney's not talking about like she's reflecting and trying to do inventory on what's happening, but how to pivot and shift to move forward. Troy, you're talking about moving forward. I'm always talking about moving forward. What's the next? Carlos is always talking about moving forward. Brandon's always talking about moving forward. For him, Brandon, I know you're out there. You're the baby of the bunch. So sometimes it's harder for you because you're like, I don't know what to do. But that's okay because you're still, you know what you're doing? You're surrounding yourself with people that are giving you positive advice, maybe giving you a little bit of incentive to move and pivot and shift and move forward. You're not looking in the rearview mirror. You're not thinking about going back to Arkansas. Nope. You're like, no, I got to move forward. I got to keep going.
You know why that is, Doug? Because we are a group of savage fucking bitches, and we know what we want and how to get it, and that's all it's going to be. That's why.
There you go. There you go. And maybe that dialogue helps other people say, wow, I don't have all the answers, but maybe I need to write a list and start checking them off and what something's going to work, something's not going to work. You don't have to have all the solutions. You don't. But what you do want to do is keep moving forward. Don't look in the rearview mirror. And if you do, you're going to see ghosts. Only look for a brief second and say, damn, that did not work out the way I thought. Where did I go wrong? How can I move forward? And move forward.
And surround yourself with positive people. That is number one.
As best
the
you
number
can.
One. That's number one, number two, number three, all the way number 10, baby. Positivity. You got to put what you put out is what you're going to get back. Go ahead.
Real quick. We have three more comments coming in. Larry, he goes, as you get older, your circle gets so small that you feel like a nucleus, which is very true. I know my circle is small, but I like it. I keep it small. I only surround myself with positive people that match my vibe and that I can trust. So, that is very accurate. And then Brandon Jenkins goes, keeping the circle small is the best way to success. I feel like that's just the theme of today. We should let people know in podcast land, keep your circle small. That's the safest and best way to live your life. Less drama, less heartache, less stress. You can focus on you and your people. So I feel like that should be what our theme and our message to everyone is for today. Last thing Brandon says is keep it positive as well. Like we said, positivity is key. So thank you guys again in the chat. We appreciate it.
I got something to say about that. I don't want people to get confused. Keeping it small and all that is definitely the thing. But don't get confused when it comes to business and personal. And the reason why I say that is because the people around your life is you got to separate it. So we're not saying when it comes to business, you don't have a small business circle if you're trying to network in this world and be somebody, because you can't call up to 3 people all the time and depend on those same 3 people. So you got to, when you think business, always think the bigger the better. The bigger your network is, the more network you'll have in your life, because you can be able to call more people to make things happen. So I didn't want people to get confused when it comes to that. So yes.
Thank you for clarifying that, because that makes a lot of sense. You gotta separate the worlds, but you gotta know what's best for each. And then one last thing, Larry says your circle should reflect your values, and that is 100% correct. I actually love that statement. I want to put that up. That's gonna be like not a hashtag. It's too long. That's gonna be some kind of motto, because your circle should really reflect who you are as a person, who you want to surround yourself around, and who you want to become. You want to surround yourself with people who are successful because you want to be successful. You want to surround yourself with people who are happy because you want to be happy. People who have goals and who are driven because you want to have that same energy be bestowed onto you. So I do agree with that. Thank you again, Larry.
Yeah, shout out to y'all in the 6th month. Y'all doing it today. We doing it, y'all. Teamwork. See what I'm talking about? Hey, I got one last thing, my little rant before I leave, and the last thing is this. Thank y'all. First of all, we only got to the first segment and we killing it. This is amazing. It feels like so good. It feels good. So I hope you guys feel as good as it does to me. Anyway, The other thing I want to talk about is just like when it comes to technology, you know, technology's taking over and everything, which is fancy. It's amazing. It's awesome, right? Because, you know, robots are about to take over and take orders and all that shit. But anyway, I'm just sick and tired of people having to tell somebody, shout to someone, or say, look up, or watch out, or this, because they're on the goddamn cell phone before they get hit by a car or walk into me. I'm sick of it. It don't make no sense. Whatever you're doing on that phone is not that goddamn important that you're about to walk into the street, that you're about to walk into somebody else. People, wake up. 2018, stop playing. Stop playing with your lives out here. Stop texting and driving. Stop walking and texting and walking into shit and walking into people. I just had to say that and get it out. I'm sick of it because the next person's going to get punched upside the head. Move right upside the forehead. Boom. Wake up. All right, cool. But anyway, putting that out there, that was fuck shit with Troy and Coco,
Poor
man.
Carlos
I feel
has
like
been so quiet. We definitely have shat over his time. So Carlos,
he gonna
feel
reclaim
free
it, you
to
know,
go
Carlos.
as long as you have to.
We got to
Thank
put
you.
over to Carlos so he can get. So he's definitely been quiet. This is definitely not him, but I know what he's talking about is important. So we're gonna move things over to kicking it with Carlos. That's good.
There you go. I'm done.
All right, guys, it's our anniversary.
I'm so done.
That was good. That was good.
Tony. Y'all don't know who that is. Y'all really need to educate yourselves. So today, okay, guys, this is going to be real. This is probably the realest I've ever been on this podcast because today I had to check myself in real life, and the reason I got so upset with what you were saying earlier, Troy, because my topic actually kind of really coordinates and goes right into what you guys were saying about last time about people complaining about something and not actively doing about it. And one thing that I always stand true on is just to be honest. That's something that I think a lot of people struggle. A lot of people say they're honest, but when you're facing court charges, when you're facing jail time, are you really going to be honest? Are you going to bite the bullet and be like, yeah, maybe I did do that? Today, we're preparing for trial, so I was speaking to my attorney, and with releasing the video, they released everything. They had like my naked ass, like walking around, cooking dinner and shit. Like they released everything. And from the beginning, I've been very open. If you guys have been following my story of for the last 4 months of what happened with Christopher and the domestic violence charge and resisting and obstruction, it's coming to a head. And today we are preparing for trial, and we watched all the video. And at the end of the day, I've been very vocal about this on my personal YouTube. There was one point in the video where Chris was holding the door, and I pushed him out of the way to get through the door. And that has been the main factor of this whole case. Of they're like, well, you shouldn't have touched another person, no matter what the cause is. And my attorney, we've motioned for self-defense. We've motioned for literally everything. And part of me wants to say, no matter how honest that you are in your heart, people don't, there's always two sides of a story. And no matter, even if your partner's story even agrees with yours, like mine does, there is still this unknown of what could happen to you. So today, the real, like my attorney, he was just real. He's like, okay, Carlos, they want something from you. We don't know why it's taking this long. They're not being easy on you, no matter. You have no priors. You don't even have a traffic ticket. But at this point, they wanted to see you in jail for 3 years. And I was like, jail for 3? Like, are you really jail for 3 years? And they're like, or you can take this plea deal. And there are things that we can do to negotiate where you can pretty much just go on parole and just go about your life, but then pay thousands of dollars. For court costs and all types of other, like, monitorings and probation fees and everything like that. So I was in there, and it hit me. I reached out to my mom and my sister, and I said, guys, what do I do? Because the whole reason I've been fighting this is because I'm telling the truth. Now, I never said I didn't push Christopher out of the way. I showed you the video to show you that's just what I did. So, but they will take video. It just drives me insane to see how they can take video and just really just, like, the way they explained it. I was like, well, yeah. They're like, you were angry and you pushed them. I was like, well, yes, we were in an argument. But what I didn't like about what's going on is the victimization of just humans being humans. I'm not looking down on domestic violence. I'm not. It happens. But what happened in my home on February 2nd, 2018 was not domestic violence. No one was brutalized. No one was physically injured. someone got pushed and I walked out of the door. Why? Where's the difference of being? Is it domestic violence, or? I guess my question
I think they're
is,
just reaching, Carlos, to be honest with you.
Well, there might be reaching, but at the end of the day, Coco, I've researched it. I've talked to several attorneys. When you touch someone in your home with physical force, it's domestic violence. No matter, and the reason like they make it so vague is because it could be a push, it could be a shove, you could shoot someone. That all is under domestic violence.
But aren't there
Can I ask a
different
question?
levels to the consequences? Is my question though. Aren't there different levels? Just like it's so vague, shouldn't there be different levels to the consequences, like compared with regard to what you did?
There aren't. Domestic violence is domestic violence that holds a 365-day in jail charge. That's point blank period. No shades of gray. No matter, you could slap someone, you could shoot someone. It's domestic violence.
And Carlos, I'm sorry to cut you off. Is Chris filing charges against you?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I was going to
ask. He's never filed charges. In fact, he's actually done the opposite. He's come in court several times and said that actually it was my defense. Like we were arguing, I got in his face, he pushed me out of the way, he left the house. I've told the story, if you guys watch my YouTube, over and over. Chris, he actually has even gone on my YouTube and told the story. Like we've been honest, but in the eyes of the law, and this is where the video will fucking hurt you and it also will help you. It helped show that those police officers were bad cops. And that's the second part of this, which I'm going to get to. But we're going to focus on the domestic part, the domestic violence part for this quick second. At the end of the day, and this is what I asked my mom, I said, Mom, I know in my heart I did not domestically abuse my husband. And I heard my mom talk to me. She's like, but you did push him. And I was like, but I pushed him and get him out of my way. And she goes, and my mom spoke to me just like she would speak to me. She goes, no matter what it was for, you still did it. And my brain told me that. My brain said, no matter what, and this is just a learning lesson. This is literally a learning lesson on every action you have has a consequence, no matter if you try to justify it or not. No matter if it's in love and anger, every action you make, no matter how big or small, could turn into something so ginormous, And
Carlos,
go ahead, Troy.
My thing is, the reason why they're saying this is because they physically have it on video because you have video camera in your house. Is that correct?
Yes, and we released them all of the video. We released them that portion. We released them all the video because we're not hiding anything. We released them all the video that we had of that night. Which
is my point exactly. So had you not, because people have domestic disputes in their house all the time, and they don't record it because they don't need to protect themselves. But that's one thing. So the fact that you have a video in your house to record to protect yourself, they're using a video you had against you. People do this all the time, have domestic disputes, push and do that. You just wanted to prevent you and your husband from having an argument and fight. You pushed him and get away from him and you walked away. And because they came into your home and invaded your privacy and you had to release videos, now you're being disputed against as a domestic dispute with your husband who's not really filing against you?
Yes.
Had you not released the video, they wouldn't even know.
No.
They're just digging for some shit.
But yes, but then you're looking at a jury of 6 white people. And we've already confirmed, we're confirming the day of, but the odds are they're going to all be white. I talked to my attorney today, just from the pool of people we have in my city.
Can we, can you have them re-adjourn, try to get new ones or something? This makes no, you don't have no right to do that?
But at the end of the day, this is the whole point of this segment, Troy. I'm tired of fighting something. I'm just going to tell the truth. I'm not going to take a deal. I've always told myself, I'm not taking any deal.
That's what I want to
get at. I'm going to tell the truth. From the eyes of the law, from what the video that you've seen, you say that I pushed my husband. I did. I agree. I did push him. I've agreed from that in the beginning of the day. I'm going to have to be a big boy, and I'm going to have to just put on my big boy pants and just deal with the consequences and step in front of the consequences. That way I have some way to negotiate of what my life is, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to give up my 3 years of my life over for 6 people to maybe think that I did or did not do something. What I will do is I will tell the truth, and I will say, for that one charge, cool. That one charge only holds, I think they're right now they're offering 15 days in either home monitoring or jail. And you have to pay for the home monitoring. And I have no priors. I have nothing. I literally don't have a fucking traffic ticket. So the reason why I don't even know why this has gotten this far, besides just the fact that they don't like a black man with a gun. And that's what we're really getting at.
That's what they're trying to, right?
my domestic violence charge, if I plead guilty to that, which I'm going to plead guilty to it, because at the end of the day, I did touch my husband during an argument, which is the whole point I'm making, guys. Walk away. Like, and when I say walk away, if they're blocking the door, just sit there or call the, like, actually don't call the police. I never suggest that, actually. Call someone that you know, or just seclude yourself in a room. Don't touch anyone, because even though how big or small, you still touch them. And that's what I can't dispute that. I can't dispute it. I can't dispute it. And I'm not going to lie on stand, and I'm not going to make small of what I did. I pushed someone, and it was wrong in the eyes of the law. Was it wrong in the eyes of me? No. But this is where it gets tricky. They also want me to plead guilty to resisting and obstructing arrest from when those officers came into my house unlawfully. That I will not do, because they had no right under the U.S. law to come into my home the way they did. With no warrant, with no priors, with no warning. They just broke into my house, and then they fucking like put me in a carotid hold and blacked me out. That I won't do. So my question to you guys is, where do you draw the line of like I just told you, I'm gonna bite the bullet. Whatever consequences come with that, I'll agree to. But I'm not gonna let you force something I did not do down my throat, because the truth will set you free. That's my mom always told me that. The truth, no matter, it might not. You might win this day, but it might come back to you later. The truth will always come back to you. So just tell the truth, and it'll set you free. And that's what I aim to do. No matter if they agree to take the plea, I'm just going to plead to that one charge, because that's all I did in the eyes of the law. If you want to say if a push is domestic violence, then I'll give you that. I'm tired of fighting you.
Carlos, can I say one thing before we answer that question? I just want you to know one thing, that at the end of the day, I wanted to make sure you were going to fight in that sense and not just give in, that's where my clarity was for you. I know you now. I know you are, I want to say that. Not just hopefully I'm speaking for myself, but I know here we love you first and foremost. And at the end of the day, you started this, and we're going to end it. And we're not going to allow them to do whatever they think they're going to do. Just do it. We're going to fight with you no matter what. We started fighting with you, posting the video, being there as a team, and we're going to finish it. It's not okay what they did to you. It's not okay what they're trying to do to you. And the fact that they think that it's okay, and that because you live in Seattle that they can get away with these little gray laws, no, we're going to fight. And whatever we have to do, I know I'm willing to do what I need to do, sign petitions, make videos, whatever we need to do like we did before, let's do it. Because at the end of the day, I feel like this is like bigger than what it is now. I just feel like Martin Luther King's presence, and that's what I feel like.
The thing is the reason they're trying to say they had right to come into my home was for Terry law. If you guys aren't familiar with Terry law, it's the basic stop and frisk, and they're saying from the moment I drove into my apartment complex. And we got them lying on stand twice. They said that they saw me through my windshield, which they couldn't have because my windshield is tinted. But they said they saw them coming through my windshield. They saw me through my windshield and knew it was me. Somehow, just from a random 911 call, you knew like the black man was the guy. And then they said from the moment I parked my car to the moment I got to my house, they said the word stop, and they said that I should have known it was police, even though they had no lights flashing. They did not address themselves as police, and they were 500 feet away. They said stop, and I should have stopped. So that gave them the right to induce Terry law, which does give them the right to come into your home to then do what they did to me. So that's the part, and that's what, like when you said it's bringing up old feelings, like I will take that as far to the Supreme Court as I possibly can, because you're not going to tell me, because you're not just going to come into my house like that. You're not just going to come into my house. You can't. I don't care if you know if I'm a murderer. And that, like, you need a warrant. Even if you know I murdered somebody, you need a warrant before you enter someone's home. That's just a basic constitutional right that we have as Americans. But at the end of the day, I'm facing rip time, guys. Like, that's 3 years. I've never even, like, that 5 days was nothing compared to 3 years. And they might be bluffing. They might be trying to scare me. But whatever they're doing, it's not working, but it's really making me contemplate, like, these people really have control of you. And last week I was laughing at Kim Kardashian for like being like, what can she do to do anything in prison reform? Actually, that bitch can do a lot. And if she has a platform, I'm glad at least she's looking at it and someone's looking at it, because you're really not concerned about it until you're really facing it, until you're really looking at like, how can someone help me? How can someone get the word out that this is fucked up? So that goes back to my question, guys. Where in it, like, do you continue to fight, or do you just give up and just stick to your goals and just say, I know what I did, I know what I will admit to what my guilt is, but at a certain point, I'm going to draw the line here. What do you do?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what you're asking in regards to you saying when do you say enough is enough? And you're like, look,
Yeah,
at this
like pretty
point,
much in your life, not even in my case. Like, don't even take my case. Like, when in your life do you think that enough is enough, and like you just kind of just give up on fighting, and you just say you just like even like when they say like celebrities give up their life to the Illuminati or whatever. Like, when do you just give your life up and just say, you know what, I'm just gonna let someone else take control, or do you just continue to fight no matter what? What
Like,
type of
what's your
person are you? Like,
breaking
what?
point?
I'm a
You
Yeah,
have
like what's
I'm
your breaking
oh
point?
I don't know. I'm just a fighter. Like at the end of the day, I don't know if it's just because of my religion and what I believe in. I'm a
And that
fighter.
is no matter what you're facing, no matter like that, because it really brought me back to like Malcolm X and like Rosa Parks, and like these people really did time just to make a difference. And I'm not comparing myself to them, but it's a real thing that's happening in
That's
America,
you said
especially
it,
with black men
Carlos.
getting trumped up charges, getting
Exactly
trumped
my
up
point.
bail amounts, to getting like it's a real thing, and
Yeah,
it has
yeah.
really motivated me. No matter what happens to me, I know after this I'm going to continue to be a bigger advocate than I was
I'm
for
glad
it.
you said that. That's what my point was, Carlos. When I said what I said about the Martin Luther King thing, I felt like it's bigger than you at this point, and that's why you have to fight because everyone in life has purpose. It happened to God. Don't give us more than we can handle, and I feel like since day one, all that you have been through, Carlos, you're still standing and you're still strong, and you're still smiling, and you're still working. All that is for a reason because you're a strong man. He gave you all of that, and it may seem like wow, it's crazy, but you've endured it all, and you're still standing. So, just keep being you and keep doing what you have to do because it's going to happen. You got this. That was my whole point. And that's how I feel. If I had everybody has a purpose, and if my purpose in life is to be that face, to have to do what I have to do, then I would do it. Me personally, because I've already accepted the destiny and calling on my life, and I believe that I
And
am a
that's
leader.
and that's exactly kind of like you wrapped it up, Troy, with like I'm accepting. I at the end of the day, I'm accepting what I have. Chris calls it Olivia Poping it. Like you try, like you literally you put shit up against a window and you're like, okay, that didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't work. And then at the end of the day, what does Olivia Pope always go back to? Just tell the truth.
Tell the truth. That's it.
Just tell the truth. She goes, the truth will shield you. That's and people they don't when they watch shows like that they don't realize they pick up a little. The truth will shield you literally. So what I plan to do when I go to court is be like look at the jury and be like, yes, under the eyes of the law, I committed domestic violence. I whatever the court has to give me for that, I will take. But as far as these cops come into my house and had a predisposition to whoop my ass like they did, that I'm going to sit here and I'm going to fight and I'm going to tell you guys why that was fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And that really will that's going to destroy any argument they have because they have this whole argument of, oh, you don't take accountability. I'm now taking accountability. I'm now, even though I don't agree with your accountability, but at the end of the day, the law is the law. And
Carlos,
I'm going to have, go ahead.
Carlos,
go ahead.
Carlos, real quick. That's okay. So the charges are, there's this domestic violence charge, and then what else?
Mm-hmm. So this is how the system works. So there's domestic violence, obstruction, resisting. And then they, on top of that, you remember 2 weeks after that, we went to court and Chris and I looked at each other and then they put a breaking our no contact order charge on, which is they're still attaching.
Okay.
To the case. So there's really 4 charges.
Okay. So you've got the domestic violence, which is the push. Now my brain is eggy and I can't remember. Like I watched the video and I didn't see anything that seemed that peculiar to me other than like the cops raiding your house, which was like, what the fuck is going on?
The push
did he fall?
So the push happened right before, in the first video that you guys saw, you saw me leave the house, right? Right before that push, we were naked in the kitchen and I pushed him away from the door. Got my clothes, were in the closet, and then got dressed and left, walked out of the door. The reason I couldn't show the push was we were naked. Wait, there's just dicks and ass. Like I can't put that on YouTube. So but that same day we released all the video to the courts. Like we released everything that we had that night, just to show them because they were trying to say, well, they heard you fighting, and Chris was like, no, we were cooking dinner. We got in an argument. I dropped the plate, Chris dropped the plate, and then Carlos, you could just see the argument on the video, and then Chris like blocks the door, and I push him away from the door, get dressed, and then I walk out the door, and that's the part where you guys saw where I walk out the door, and it's just like they all and then we both admitted that night. We both said, yeah, there was a push. And that night they weren't saying it was a push. That night it was just so confusing because then they were just like, oh, well, we heard that it was really about the resisting in the obstruction, which is why they're trying to attach to it. And they haven't talked to Christopher from my knowing. From this whole court case, they haven't tried to ask him anything. They haven't tried to ask him his opinion besides the times that he's written in to my attorney and to the prosecution, which they had to alert us that he wrote into us. And then it was just like the same thing. Just like I got into an argument. I got mad at Carlos. I tried to block the door and he pushed me away and walked out the door. And at the end of the day, guys, it's on video. I'm not going to argue what I saw on video and what's on video. But I am going to argue the second part.
Right. Well, but what it's just so bizarre and not. It's just not like it's because just not. It's just not right.
It's bigger than just me pushing my husband. This is about where I like. It's so much deeper than that. It's about
extra because it's about where you reside, what their whole motivation is.
Well, on top of that, the big thing is my gun rights. Once I plead guilty to this, I lose my gun rights for 10 years. I can't, as an American citizen, even though I have not committed any felony, which is what our Constitution says, the only charge that they can get you for your gun rights is domestic violence. So that's why they make it so vague.
So that was the part I got thrown off on. So there's no firearms in this equation.
No, my gun was in my gun safe.
Right. So that it's just so bizarre. It's the most bizarre, especially when Chris isn't filing charges against you. So it's the state of Washington, and they probably you had said that they have these like built-in laws. Okay, there's domestic violence, so that means somebody's got to go to jail for 300 days or whatever it is. They have these built-in measures.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that's why, and then the thing is that really killed me is that the first plea deal that they said was that I would just give up my gun rights and then plead no contest to all the charges for 2 years, stay out of trouble. And then they would then after the 2 years, they would drop the charges. Now that I've decided to go to trial, you hear about this classic. They took that offer off the table. Now they're saying if I take the plea deal, I have to and plead to the domestic for the resisting and the obstruction, I have to do 15 days per charge, either in jail or a home monetization, and then go through like all these courses and anger management. And then there's like a $3,000 domestic violence class that, of course, you have to pay for. And then you have to pay for the home monetization. It's pretty much like $8,000 worth of just shit.
And are you like a hardcore gun guy?
No. Like I own 2 guns. And then one I actually we had to give them both to the fucking police. And then I'm not like a hard gun guy, but who they know me from is my active work on YouTube and on just in Seattle, because every time we have a march, I go and I march with Black Lives Matter, and there's me and another group of like 4 other people, and we open carry and behind, like we kind of take the ideals of the Black Panthers and we walk behind the protesters, in between the police, just to kind of guard them, because here in Seattle they try to use this intimidation tactic, especially like when Charlene Lyles died. That was the march that got me notarized, because I got on the bullhorn and I told everyone, I said, go to your local precinct and get yourself a gun and get your license to hold, because these people are just killing people out here. And that hit the news cycle. And ever since then, I've just been detained at fucking car dealerships, at fucking everywhere, like everywhere.
Okay, everywhere. Now I understand. Okay, so now it's starting to make, like, again, it seems to me like it's like, are they like trying to fill a quota? Is somebody trying to be like, they're trying to have like a political career off this? But apparently it's because you're resisting and pushing the system, and now they have you in their crosshairs.
Yes.
Right.
And then the particular judge I have has already had several admonishments for judge, or for being the direct quote is too harsh towards
Criminals.
Criminals. Like literally, like he was just doing and saying unnecessary shit, which he's done. Like the fact that for 4 or 5 months he has not dropped the no contact order after we both pled him to do, and then he got more upset when I fucking figured out how to get back into my house. I just had Chris move into another house. That's simple. And then I moved back into my house. That way I can take care of my uncle and take care of my business. And I still was within my no contact order because it says I can't live with where Christopher lives. He could just move somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So it's costing us more, but it's actually, I'm making my money back because I'm able to host my Airbnb. I'm able to do everything I need to do here at home. So it's just like literally, it's like a pushback. They're upset that I'm pushing back. And they want, and I've been very vocal about it. I have like the videos have like 15, 16,000 views on YouTube, and everyone, like even people in my attorney's office was like, oh yeah, I watched that video, and then like even I did a play-by-play of the police report, and I just pointed out the lies, and that's why I'm fighting, because there are several lies
Carlos,
of why they did what they did. Go ahead, Coco.
Real quick, Crystal in the chat goes, you became a target for standing up for human rights, and I feel like that's the motivation nowadays, is to keep people down and keep people from asking questions and keep people from fighting, and so you are definitely doing yourself a service, and everyone else that's listening to this and may also be going through a similar situation. You're making an example by pushing back, and that's what you need to do. You can't let them get the best of you, and can't let them keep you down. So thank you for that, and being that motivation for a lot of people as they listen to this podcast, or just putting it into the stars, because we need more people to just fight back. It's Carlos. It's interesting that we're talking about your particular situation, and I apologize that I don't know the whole scope of it, but I know that some little tidbits, and I know that there were times where you couldn't really talk about all of it, but it's coming on the coattails of me watching what happened in Mesa, Arizona just recently. And I don't know if anybody had seen this, but a guy goes to an apartment building. The girl calls 911 saying that her ex-boyfriend is breaking in. Person that was called 911 on, not the girl, but this other guy, his friend is there. And the friend just got hammered by the police, just got fucked up. And so that, on the coattails of, I was watching another same police department, like just totally rocked an 84-year-old lady and like punched her in the face and grabbed, threw her to the ground, blah, 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 blah. The same police department also, a guy who worked for like a Terminex, like a Terminex kind of place, had a pellet gun because I guess he shoots the gophers or whatever when he's trying to do his work. And the same police department gunned this guy down in the hallway of a hotel. And so all of this is on my mind, and I'm thinking, jeepers, man, people, I understand that 911 is important, but fucking stop calling 911, man. It's just, when the police come, I grew up, okay, now here's a little tidbit of trivia. I grew up in Hermosa Beach, California, 1 square mile area, and there was this utopian idea that it was all great and dandy and bikinis and all that. But the reality is the cops were fucked, and they kicked ass on teenagers all the time. And so I have this innate fear of the police. Like, I'm very fearful. And, when I go into a situation and the cops arrive, I'm like, I'm fuck. I'm
not afraid of the police. I'm not afraid of the police. And I don't think the police are bad at all. I think actually on the contrary, the police have saved my life.
Sure.
Police saved me for when I was in foster care. It was police that drew me out of the neglect that I lived in. Sure. What I am afraid of, like, I've never, and this is, as a black man, I can say this, and I can't say this for all black men, but I have never, because I don't break the fucking law. I've never just happened to come upon police. Like, I don't get pulled over. I'm always legal with like my tags and everything. It's always someone calling them on me.
Yes. Yes.
It's not like I did something illegal and then the police responded. That's okay. I understand.
Right.
Do your job. It's always someone calling them because they heard a thud, because they heard fucking, and they heard 3 black men having sex. Like, it's all, or they saw a black man walking with a gun. Like, it's always
Wait,
the
did we say
people
3
call
black
the
men?
police. Oh yeah, that was.
He
wanna
did. He did
clarify
say that.
that.
I heard that too. Yeah.
And also,
That was literally a police call at my house one night.
Okay.
and then also for me, like, a friend of mine that was just at my house right before the podcast. He's a police officer, Santa Monica Police Department, and I love him, and our families are friends and stuff like that. So I agree with you. Not all cops are bad. They want to go home to their families too. I get that, and I love that, and I respect that. But we're in this area where the training is so it's like the training is fucked.
It's just like the way that they extended like the Terry law. They didn't do that fast when they came into my house. They did that because they had a prosecutor look at the law and see what they could stretch. Those police officers were not trained to be like, yeah, we can break in because it's Terry law. They did not think that. They were just bad cops.
Right. And that's where, boy, it's such, you're right. You find yourself at the epicenter of a very one, it's happening to you, which sucks, and I'm sorry that's happening to you, but you're also right at the epicenter of this very huge concept. We talked about this last week where we were talking about why people didn't want to, why they were taking a knee for the national anthem. And it's like, we're back to this same problem, which is, are the question, are the police over-policing? Are they there to help us? Are they there to hurt us? What is going on? And we're right back at the same fucking spot.
I will say this to you. I don't care if I see someone get murdered. I won't call the police, nor will I help you. I'm going to walk away, and I'm going to mind my own fucking business. Because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be me, the black man, that ends up in cuffs or ends up dead.
Right.
Literally, the police don't help. They don't help. But at the end of the day, they are there to do a job, which is what they're there to do. So if you hear fucking noises from your neighbors, knock on the fucking door and say, "Quiet down." Literally, literally, it's
and
that
3
simple.
naked black men will come to the door and tell you to get the fuck on.
No, I wanted to just end this with just I'm going to continue to be who I am, and I'm just going to be 100% honest, and there's no other way I can be. And that's how I'm going to get through this. That's how I'm not going to take no plea. I've stuck to my guns, and I don't care. Mm-hmm. When I get to trial, I will plead to what I have to plead to, and then I will fight what I ever have to fight again.
They don't want to go to trial. They don't want to go to trial because that's going to cost money.
My trial date's on the 13th. It's already booked, and we're doing jury selections that day. They're doing it, and then if I lose, I have to pay all that money. It's all about it's money. It's literally money.
It's a shakedown, man. That is a fucking straight up shakedown. That's so bizarre. It's such a bizarre story. I'm sorry that's happening. You're in the machine. You got snagged and sucked up into the machine. You know what I mean?
And the only way for you to get out is just to count your bruises, brush yourself off. And just continue on. And then my attorney would just give me a rundown, with that DV charge, it'll be hard for you to get a job. I was like, I'm a business owner. No, that's not a problem. And then he was just like, it'll be hard for you to get housing. I was like, my husband does housing. That won't be a problem. So really, I don't have any problems. And then if I stay out of trouble in 5 years, I get an option to get it expunged. What I won't. So I'm okay. I'm okay with. I feel at peace. But what I'm not at peace with is this police shit and what they did. And then on top of that, how they beat up my fucking husband that night. So, at the end of the day, guys, this is my last time talking about it. I'm not going to bring it up anymore because it's already done. I've already told you what I'm going to do. And whatever the outturns are, y'all will find out.
So you're gonna plead guilty to the push to the domestic violence thing, but you're not gonna plead guilty to the obstruction of justice or the resisting arrest.
Exactly, and I'm going to do that in trial. So I'm not like when they start asking me about it, I'm just like, you know what, Your Honor, I did push him, or whoever. I did push him, and it was out of anger. So I guess that would qualify for domestic violence. And
they're just trying to get your gun away, Carlos.
Yeah,
they just want that gun.
But you know what? Who fucking cares about a gun? Because you know what? I got these hands. So take the fucking gun. Like, I don't care. I really don't care, because at the end of the day, my husband just registered for his gun concealed license, so we gonna have a gun regardless. Like, stupid ass. So like, at the end of the day, and that's only like, and at the end of the day, that's a whole nother conversation. Like, black men, like, you know, I love me holding the gun, but is it worth it though? Like, look at what they've done to me. Look at what just for protesting and saying that black men should get guns. I like, look at what they've done just to get that right. Y'all can have it, bro. Y'all can have it, because you know what? I'm finna get the fuck up out of here. I'm finna have money. I'm finna do bigger things, and that's the way I'm looking at it. Like you guys said, we have to continue. And I'm tired of letting this bog me down. I'm tired of fretting over it. I'm tired of my anxiety. Like, I'm tired of contemplating suicide. I'll be 100%. There's been times I've talked to my therapist and I was like, yo, this all just needs to stop. And she's just like, Carlos, just keep going. And I put on a smile and I do this, but this is some real, when you wake up in the morning and you don't have the person that means the most next to you, and then on top of that, your mother or your sister died, and then on top of that, you don't know if you're going to go to jail for 3 years. That's some shit that you no human should have to wake up to every day. And I'm tired of doing it.
Sure.
I'm tired. So I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to be a man. But at the same day, I'm also going to feel good in myself to know that I stood by my morals, which is the whole point of this segment, is will you stand by your morals or will you not? And I want to stand by my morals, and I'm going to tell the truth, 100% the truth under oath, but which includes telling y'all those cops ain't shit for what they did. So that's the end of my segment, guys. Thanks for kicking it with me.
That was kicking it with Carlos. We appreciate you, Carlos, and we're standing by you. You know how we do. We want the Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, whatever you need, we got you. Because, I mean, God gave it to you for a reason. And no matter what, telling the truth is going to set you free, exactly like you said. So, without further ado, guys, before we move on, we just got to throw it in there again. It's our 6-month anniversary, y'all. 6 months. We made it halfway through our show. And, I know timing is kicking our ass, but we made it halfway through. 6 months. This is a special edition for y'all. So, without further ado, let's move it over to Coco. Let's get it, girl.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
So,
that was quick, Troy. You're good. You're good at this.
That's called pass the mic right there. Just boom, pass the mic.
So, today, guys, we are going to play a fun game. I ranted in Fuck Shit with Troy and Coco, so I don't have any rants for you. But we are going to play a game. So, we're going to play a game that I call Peer Pressure. It's a take on a game we played, I think, about 3 months ago. So basically, remember when I had you guys doing impersonations of people? And that was utterly hilarious. That was actually probably our highest listened, highest listened to episode, because people genuinely enjoyed our foolery and they enjoyed hearing you guys make fools of yourselves. So we're gonna play that exact same game, but I added a little twist to it. So I'm going to give you all somebody that you have to impersonate, but it can either be a celebrity or a fucking persona I just made up out of my ass. You have 5 seconds to start it, and you're going to be judged by whoever is not impersonating somebody. So basically, the peanut gallery. So if you're the one that's supposed to be impersonating someone, like say if it's Troy, then Carlos and Doug have to say whether it was good enough or not. The person who has the best score is going to be the first one to get Savage Swag, because that is ready. And I haven't told you guys that, but we have some t-shirts, we have some fucking cups, we have some hats. So the person who wins this game will get the first dibs on all that Savage Swag. So does that sound like a good plan?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm confident.
Okay, cool.
I think Carlos is smoking.
It sounds like a plan.
I think Carlos is smoking.
So
I'm smoking a cigar because my nerves are bad.
All right.
Relax. Get it all out. So like I said, I'm going to give you guys somebody to impersonate. It'll either be a celebrity, someone well known, or a persona that I made up and pulled out of my ass, and you got to make it happen. Beginning with 5 seconds from. So you got a couple seconds to think about it. This time I'm being fair. It is our 6-month anniversary. I'm not going to be a bitch today. I've toned it down. So I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds, and then you got to bring it, okay? And then everybody's going to have to judge whether it was good or not. I will be keeping score to make it fair. So first up is Mr. Doug. So, Doug, I need you to do your best impersonation of Prince, the singer Prince, in 5 seconds. So I'm going to do the mental countdown, all right? And I'm going to do the song. Do, 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 do.
Oh, no.
Do, 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 and go.
Okay, from Purple Rain. Get away from that motherfucker!
Really?
He's trying to push his dad. Okay, sorry. That's the. Wait, I'm swinging at it again. Get away from her, motherfucker. There you go.
Is that what he's saving Apollonia?
Yeah, no, when the dad's beating the mom.
Wait, are you talking about the official music video for Purple Rain?
No,
the
I'm talking about
movie.
the movie, the long form. I'm talking about the long form, but that was so shitty. That was so bad. I got an F
All right,
on
guys.
that one.
Carlos, Troy, what are we weighing in
Yeah.
here? Is it hit or
That
miss?
was bad.
I wanted more. You just gave me a little
No,
more.
at
Sorry.
first,
I needed more.
I thought he was talking about, what you talking about, Willis? You know, whoever that actor is,
Right.
I thought that's who he was impersonating.
All right,
No.
so it's a no-go, Doug. It's a no-go. You still got some more chances. It's fine.
Okay.
So we're going on to Carlos. Carlos,
Oh, God.
I need you to give me your best Lil Wayne impersonation. And you got 5 seconds to start. Do, 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 do. And
I
go.
Lil Wayne, I got a chain, walking red out, bitch, my shit bling. Wayne, 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 I wake it in and sing. I'm Lil Wayne, I'm Lil Wayne. That's all
Okay.
I got.
That's pretty good.
That's what
That's-
this music sounds like.
That was better than my Prince. That was
Okay,
pretty good.
so we got a yes from Doug. What about you, Troy?
Yeah, Lil Weezy, baby. Fuck with me. Yeah, go ahead. I give it to him. I'm gonna say
Okay.
yeah.
Weezy F baby and the F is for a
Yeah.
bunch of shit.
Okay. All right, Troy. Your turn. I actually got 3 of these from our listeners, so you don't like it, blame them, and they said I can blame them. So, all right.
shit.
So I got their permissions. Okay. So Troy, your turn. You have to give me your best. Which one do I want to do first? Okay, your best impersonation of Shaggy. And go.
What's going on out there, Triple I Shaggy? We're gonna get real sexy, real smooth with it. We're gonna you're gonna got me on the counter. It wasn't me. Come on, my single Alice. You can always count it on this sofa. It wasn't me. You down in the shower. It was. Come on.
Wait a minute.
Let's go, people. Let's go.
I have to say that was my favorite of all
That was
time.
pretty good,
That was
dude.
good. That was
Pretty
That
good.
was dope.
Now, just so you know, my brain was like, is she talking about like Shaggy from Scooby Doo? And then the other part of my brain was like, is she talking about like Shaggy 2 Dope from ICP? Like,
Oh
it
my
just-
god.
Holy shit.
You don't
There
too
you
many
go.
Shaggies.
So extra point for
I
that.
didn't get the real Shaggy until he got to It Wasn't Me part, because I was real lost. I'm like, this sounds nothing like Scooby Doo Shaggy. But then he like, oh, that's Shaggy. Got it.
Oh my God, no! You would have to be specific. You would have to say Scooby Doo, Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
You
you
would have
have
to
to be
specifically
mad
say that.
specific if that's what I was talking about. All right, next one. Okay, Doug, I need you to give me your best Roseanne Barr impersonation. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm kind of these guys. I believe that I'm a gun-toting Utah Mormon ex. John, what's with all these? God bless America. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, Carlos.
That was an A plus right there.
Yeah, that was definitely a plus.
By the way, we have Crystal in the chat who's actually she's voting along, so she's right on point with all of us. She's giving us a down thumbs and up thumbs. So
Oh shit.
kudos to you.
Don't go to work
chat,
talking about me,
Crystal.
Crystal. Don't be talking about me at work now.
All right, so we got Roseanne Barr. Okay, hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so next is Carlos, I think, right? Carlos, you have to give me your best impersonation. Now, this is your first persona. You have to give me a impersonation of Tyreek, the football star who just got drafted. You have to give me your speech. Ready?
Wait, I don't know who. Wait, Tyreek. Wait, who's Tyreek the football?
That's your persona. Remember, I said it's either a celebrity or somebody I pull out of my ass and make up. You have to create
Oh,
this
this is
person.
good. It's you,
Wait,
nigga. Make it up.
Wait, what's his name?
Tyreek,
Okay.
the football star that just got drafted. You have to give me your thank you speech, okay? In 5, 4, 3,
black?
2, 1.
I would like to thank my mother first of all, because without her pushing me and taking me to all of those after-school sports, I would have never been who I am today. I have to thank my coach, Coach Phyllis. Thank you, man. You pushed me during practice. You made sure I did my up and downs and my blimpies. I also have to just thank the college that raised me. That raised me up to be the athlete that I am today. Much love, y'all. And I can't wait to get on the field and show y'all what I got. It's Tyreek.
You had to put Tyreek. I love it.
That was pretty
You
good.
forgot to give it up to God, though, Carlos. That would have been more convincing.
I don't want to. Yeah, true.
That's pretty good.
All right, Troy, what about you? What do you think?
I'm down with Tyree. You know what I'm saying? He didn't
Was
take a
it
real ratchet
convincing?
hood. Yeah. That was convincing. I was just, you know, he could have gone a couple ways. He definitely stayed in character. He talked about things that would have made sense. You know, like I didn't even know what the blippy was. I got drafted. Look, I made it into the football team in high school, and I just made it. That's all it was. I made it and I left. That was
you
it.
felt
I
it
don't
in
remember
your
that
heart.
stuff. Yeah, I felt it.
What about you, Doug?
I thought that was pretty cool. I kind of thought he was going to go in a different direction, but he went soft-spoken and sincere, and I thought it was pretty good. I love Coach Phyllis because I
Yes,
got thrown off.
give
I
it up
thought
to
Coach
Coach
Phyllis
Phyllis.
was a girl, but that's a guy. You know, Coach Phyllis
Is a guy.
His name's Barnaby Phillips. I
There
know
you
this
go.
guy, Barnaby Phillis. So there you go. I think shout-outs to Coach Phyllis, and I thought that was pretty good. Thumbs up for me.
Cool. All right, so who's up next? Doug again? Are we back to Doug?
No,
or
it's Troy. What's up?
No,
Oh,
Troy,
we're back to
Troy.
Troy.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm
ready?
out. I'm out.
You're not out
Yeah,
yet.
I want my swag. Don't do me like that.
All right, so Troy, you have to give me your best impersonation of Abigail, the British pub waitress. That was such a tongue twister.
Oh, fuck. I have a list. That's hard with my list.
5,
Oh,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, my name is Bridget. I am here for some tea and comfort, eh? Would you like some tea? Is it high time? What time is it, eh?
Wait.
Oh, what
A?
is it?
That was
Wait.
badass.
No, it
Listen, are you
wasn't.
Are you from Canada?
That's
Or
what
are
I'm
you
trying to
from-
figure out.
Hey, man. Troy, I'm giving you a
Listen,
thumbs up on
I
that.
lived
You
in
owned it.
Australia
It's
for 3
gotta be
months, and
two.
Every time I try to do a British accent, I sound Australian. I can't help it because I lived there for 3 months. You can't do that to me.
And Canadian, apparently.
I couldn't help it. I tried and the A came out. Every time I tried to talk a British accent, after living in Australia for 3 years. 3
No,
months.
I love.
Every time,
I love
I can't help it.
Carlos,
I
what
love
about
Troy,
you?
but
What do you think?
I love Troy. That was perfect, but that A, he kept throwing that A in there. And
That's
no
'cause,
British people
listen.
I know say A.
So
That's
it's a
Australian.
yes or
I'm
no?
sorry.
It's a no for me and Troy. It's a no for me.
Aw.
Dang. Y'all
Dang.
trying to come against people with a list? Y'all see how y'all did me, guys? I'm
No,
gonna
that
go.
has nothing to do with the list. Nigga, you said A.
Listen, wait, but did I not have a British accent though? The only thing that threw you off.
I did not.
So why should I not get it? She said
Yo.
British. She said
Because-
Bridget and British, right? And I did that, but Bridget
But
Australia last
Bridget-
2 months
but
ago,
Bridget was-
and she just coming
Bridget
back from
was-
Australia. You can't tell her that. She is British. She sounded like herself, but she just came back from vacation from Australia 2 months ago.
Okay, I changed. You know what? I changed my vote.
It's
to
too
yes,
late.
'cause He convinced me.
Too late.
Okay.
Too late. Next, we
No,
have
what
two.
did Crystal say?
Hey,
Crystal's
guys,
the third
this is
person.
how
What
it
did
gotta
Crystal
work.
say?
You have both Doug and Troy. You have to get your next ones right. If you don't, Carlos wins. Carlos, you get one more right, then you win. Then you win if they get any wrong. You get it? So basically, they
Okay.
have to win.
I'm
Okay.
an actor.
I know. I see. All right. So are we back to Doug, right?
Yep.
Okay, Doug, you have to give me your best John Cena impersonation.
I don't know
In.
who John Cena is. He the wrestler?
Yes, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
You wanted the best. You got the best. Watch me smack this down. I will violate you. I will crush you. I will make sure that you bleed from your head to your toes. You are nothing. I am Mr. Cena. Bow to Mr. Cena.
That was pretty good.
That was actually excellent. What about you, Troy?
That was good. You definitely get thumbs up for me.
All right. So pressure's
It's
on,
thumbs
Troy.
up for
Pressure's
me.
on after this,
Thumbs
okay?
up for me.
So we have Carlos again. So if you get this right, Troy, you have to get your next one right, okay? If he gets this right, then you guys are out of the game, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry, had to get my math correct. All right, so I'm gonna give you a hard one.
So you should let me go first.
Huh?
To get myself, you should let me go before him then.
Yeah,
so that I can redeem
true.
myself.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
kick me out.
Okay, Troy. You are gonna have
Don't
to.
give me his one. You about to give him though.
No.
Don't
worry.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have to be
Coming for me.
Hot Tamale, the Vegas showgirl. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ay, caramba, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vegas. Welcome to my show. I've been looking at my titties, baby. I know they big.
I don't even know. I don't know if I hate her, and I just wanted to lose because I hate her.
That was. Do you guys know who Charo is?
Yes,
Yes, that's who I sound like. That was all I could think about. Vegas showgirl. That's all I could think about.
All right, Carlos, what do you think? And you can't. No, never mind. Fuck it.
I think
Carlos is out. It's me or you, Doug.
No, I was going to give him a yes.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure
He
it's going to
sounded
be
like
fair.
he sounded
once
like
you say
the
no,
Latino
it's
girl
done.
from 2-1 Fu.
All right, so we got a yes. What about you, Doug?
Of course, that was a yes. 2 thumbs. Yeah, it was huge.
Okay. Now, if Carlos gets his next one right, I have one thing to pit you guys all together. That because you guys will be tied, right? Yep.
No, Carlos will be when. If he loses, we'll be tied.
Oh yeah, if he loses, you'll be tied. Guys, thank you. I'm fucking messing up here. My numbers are all fucked up. Listen, guys, this is live. This is real. It's 6 months. Who the fuck cares? So, Carlos, your last one is I need you to give me your best impersonation of Ricky Ricardo in 5, 4.
Who's Ricky Ricardo?
From I Love Lucy.
Lucy.
Have you ever seen
watch
it?
that shit?
3.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, I'm Ricky Ricardo. I don't know if I'm Hispanic or if I'm black, but you know what? I'm back. Back for you and your entertainment in I Love Lucy with Ricky Ricardo. I don't know who the fuck this was. I don't know who the fuck.
That was so wild.
What the fuck was that?
One line.
Oh, Lucy.
Lucy.
Lucy,
That's all you had to say, Carlos.
Lucy, I'm home. I'm going to be at the club. He works at the
myself.
Copacabana.
Shit.
He's the band leader.
Like, how could you not?
Not one episode, Carlos. Not one
Come on,
episode.
dude.
Not
See,
one.
you're
Not
busy
hard.
watching Tony. You should be watching
Right?
Lucille Ball.
You're so stupid.
I don't know.
All right, guys. Here, this is how I'm pinning you guys together because you're all tied. Ready? You guys have. Someone has to shout out. Well, you all three have to shout out what you think. The answer to this question about me is all at the same time. Whoever shouts it first wins.
Orange soda.
No.
Orange
Anyway.
soda.
You cheating, Doug. Now you disqualified.
All right, ready? What is my favorite color?
Purple.
Yellow.
Purple.
Purple.
Red.
Keep
Orange.
going.
Green.
Purple.
Wait, who said green?
Blue.
I said green.
Carlos. Carlos wins.
God,
So Carlos
I
is
didn't
our
know we had the
winner.
same color. That's crazy. The
What?
exact same color is favorite. I did not know that. Exact same
I
color
think
was green.
we talked about it in when we had to get to know each other in one of our real shit
Exactly.
Fridays.
See, I talked about it 1,000 times on this podcast too. Y'all niggas just don't be listening, so that's not my fault. Congratulations,
I
Carlos.
got it. Football and orange soda. I'm good. I'm getting better.
You are getting better. You are getting.
Come on,
better.
I guess your bra panties out all of that stuff by
That
accident.
was just
No,
fucking
that was
creepy.
just
though.
creepy.
That was just. Oh my God, Doug, you want to take us out with our songs for the night?
I do. Okay, cool. So the first track that we have is an artist named Barry Rose. It's kind of a pop. I got 2 pop tracks. So she's from Echo Park, California. The song's called Laffy Taffy. If you like her, SoundCloud.com. Barry, spelled B-A-R-R-I-E, is Queen. So B-A-R-R-I-E is Queen, and it sounds like this.
Laffy Taffy, so sweet it makes me happy. And I don't wanna imagine, it's so tragic, waiting for a little magic. Laffy Taffy, so sweet it makes me happy. And I don't wanna imagine, it's so tragic, waiting for a little magic. My mother, she said to me, you're gonna settle someday soon, and you'll be under the roof of a stay home, and you'll be making a meal forget to your own. But mama, I can't foresee your future holding such a thing. I'm still a baby and not ashamed to say it's not a question of readiness or being afraid. Laffy Taffy, so sweet it makes me happy. And I don't wanna imagine, it's so tragic, waiting for a little magic. Laffy Taffy, so sweet it makes me happy. And I don't wanna imagine, it's so tragic, waiting for a little magic. My daddy, he said to me, you gotta get yourself a job, something that'll support you, 'cause now you're grown. Go on and handle the bills on your own. So I went and did just that, but oh, soon you'll surely see. Maybe you're working a woman, still look it at heart. I'm gonna make a living off of my art. Sweeter than candy, hooked on the fantasy, and in romantic, lost in the magic. By nights in color, why I don't wonder. Always surrender, always discover. Laffy Taffy, so sweet it makes me happy. And I don't wanna imagine, it's so tragic, waiting for a little magic. Laffy Taffy, so sweet it makes me happy. And I don't wanna imagine, it's so tragic, waiting for a little magic. Laffy Taffy, so sweet it makes me happy. And I don't wanna imagine, it's so tragic, waiting for a little magic.
So there you go, Barry Rose from Los Angeles, California with Laffy Taffy. The second track up is a great pop song written by Ben Hobbs, who's a singer-songwriter out of London. The song's called Two Pieces. If you like it, SoundCloud.com. Ben Hobbs with two B's, music. Again, Ben Hobbs, music. Sounds just like this. Do you like it?
If I forgive you, will you still let me down? If it gets better, can you still love me now? We're still in motion, but all this, it wears me down. These cards on the table, I want you to help me out. Are we changing? Are we healing now? I don't fall, I just break. Won't you say what you want me to say? Or are we just two pieces? If we don't care enough to change, I'll just say what you want me to say. We are just two pieces. There's no emotion left in the blackened sky. Colors are fading. Look how you take a mind. There is no heartache don't fall, I just break. Won't you say what you want me to say? Or are we just two pieces? If we don't care enough to change, I just say what you want me to say. We are just two pieces. Are we just too far from where we started? We started. Are we just too far from where we started? We started. I don't fall, I just break. Won't you say what you want me to say? Or are we just two pieces? If we don't care enough to change, I just say what you want me to say. We are just two pieces.
All right, guys. How we doing? We back. Thank you, Doug. Still listening. That was awesome. You know, that was some different type of music styles. I was hoping for more of a turn up because Doug be hitting us with the turn up, but he hit us with the curveball.
This
It
was
actually what
refreshing.
happened was.
I
It
don't
was.
have
It was
like
refreshing.
my twerk bones are just kind of needing a need of a rest. So this was definitely refreshing. I felt like I could have just been taking a fucking bath and smoking something to that. So thank you, Doug.
Hey, thank you, Doug, for the cool vibes. You know, I feel like talking like this and a real calm, low, you know, chill vibes kind of talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, thank you. That was a great way to end our 6-month episode of being calm, cool, and collected, and moving forward and putting out the good positive vibes. You know, I appreciate that. That's what's up. That's real talk, guys. 6 months. It's feeling amazing. Are you guys feeling good? Everybody still here? What's Carlos had to leave? Carlos left. I don't think he's still here.
I mean, I'm still
yeah.
here. Doug, you
That's
still
all that
there?
matters. Doug's still here. You know, Doug ain't going nowhere.
Doug loves us.
Doug, where you at, Doug? I see his face. I see your face there. Yeah, thank you. First of all, 6 months. It's been amazing. It's been great. I'm so happy to have made 6 months. You know, the fact that wow, just to say 6 months, I'm still like, oh, like we did it, y'all. Like,
I know.
all of that in 6 months.
We're grown ups. We're grown ups now.
We're grown ups now. We're creating platforms and avenues for other people, and that's what we're doing. Guys, y'all still listening, tuning in. First of all, shout out to every single person that's listening to this one episode, who has left one comment, who has just helped us to continue to grow and do what we're doing.
And shout out to
you. We
everyone
appreciate
who's
you guys.
been with us during chat today, like Crystal and Larry and Brandon and who am
Yeah,
I missing? Daquan and who else?
Right.
Who else? Let me see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody.
Crystal,
You got
Brandon,
Crystal,
Daquan, yes, for.
Larry. Yep. Thank you guys so much. Like, it just made everything so fun. And thank you, Crystal, for voting along with me, so I was able to keep track of the shitty impersonations and the great ones. So thank you. Kudos to you. Props to you.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, keep tuning in. You know, we want to challenge you guys out there who listen to what we do. We want to make sure we give a platform to you guys too. We're trying to create some new shows and do some different things. And because we listen to what you guys say to us, we want to make sure you guys are included. So if you guys out there, you know, always want to consider being on a podcast, possibly, you know, get involved. We definitely want to hear from you. And you never know, you can see yourself co-hosting a segment or something with us right here on Savage Media Radio on one of these 4 days we already have booked. You know, we're about to take over 7 days. You never know. By the year's mark, we might be 7 days a week having a Savage Media Radio show. And that would be awesome.
It might be 7 times a day, 7 days a week. You don't know.
You never even know. You don't even know. All we do is, you know, one thing. We always do the same thing each and every week. Every week we end it the same way, and we always keep it the same way. What we do, guys? Stay savage. Until next week, thank you guys so much for listening.